Hello everyone, this is Sumita Gupta. Welcome you all for my 13th lecture of Electronic Devices and Circuits, that is BJT voltage divider bias. First of all, we will have a look on Q point, then need of biasing, then BJT voltage divider bias along with its advantages and disadvantages. So first of all, what is Q point? As I have already explained in my previous lecture, Q point means first of all we have to draw the output characteristics of transistor. For this example, we have taken common emitter amplifier. So these are the output characteristics, and this is load line. Intersection point of output characteristics with load line are Q points. So these all are Q points. Q point here, Q point here. And I have already explained you in the last lecture how to select the Q point. Means there are three different regions of operation of transistor. This is your cutoff region, this is your active region, and this is your saturation region. If you remember, if Q point will be near the cutoff region, then negative part of the waveform will be clipped. If Q point near the saturation region, then positive part of the waveform will be clipped. So remember this clearly. Q point should be in active region and it should be in the center of the load line. If you want to know it in detail, so please go through my previous lecture. Okay, so Q point should be in the center of the load line and it should be in the active. So what is the need of biasing? Biasing means providing some external supply or voltage to stabilize the DC operating point, means Q point. Okay, means we have to apply the biasing in a way that Q point neither should be in saturation region nor it be in the cutoff region. The Q point should be in perfectly in the active region or in the center of the load line. Okay, so there are different types of biasing. In the previous lecture, we have learned the BJT fixed bias. Now the next is BJT potential or voltage divider bias. Okay. So this is the circuit for BJT biasing. Now in the circuit, why it is called voltage divider bias? So, first of all, we should understand here we are using voltage divider rule. That's why it is known as voltage divider bias. Now what is voltage divider bias? There are suppose two branches, okay? And if you want to calculate the resistance of these branches, then this voltage will be either we can say threshold voltage, base voltage, or voltage across the resistance R2. Okay, then the branch resistance whom which we want to calculate the voltage RB2. Wait a minute. Again, listen. We want to calculate the voltage across branch RB2. Then that particular branch resistance, that is RB2 divided by total resistance, that is RB1 plus RB2. This is our voltage divider rule, and then give it multiply by the supply, given supply VCC. So in this particular circuit, we are applying the voltage divider rule. Means we are calculating the voltage across this resistance. Either we can say threshold voltage, base voltage, or voltage across resistance RB2. RB2 VCC upon RB1 plus RB2. And if you want to calculate the equivalent resistance at base, so at this particular node, both resistors will be in parallel. So total resistance, or either you can say base resistance, threshold resistance, equivalent resistance, it will be RB1 parallel RB2. RB1 parallel combination of RB2. Means if you know the RB1 parallel RB2 is equals to RB1 multiplied by RB2 upon RB1 plus RB2. So this circuit, again remember, this is the circuit of voltage divider bias. In this circuit, the voltage across this is RB2 VCC upon RB1 plus RB2, and the resistance across the base is RB1 parallel RB2. So this circuit can be redrawn like this. Means now we can directly put here B means base voltage, this voltage, this is B, okay, and this RB is RB1 parallel RB2, this resistance, okay, and the rest circuit is same. Okay, now you know if you remember why we are doing biasing. We are doing biasing for calculating Q point. And what is Q point? What is Q point? Intersection of this IC and output characteristics and load line. Means if you want to know the value of this Q point, so at this Q point, what is the current and what is the voltage? In short, IC and BCE. If you want to calculate the Q point, means we have to calculate the value of IC and BCE. Okay. If you remember how to calculate IC and BCE, just you have to apply KVL. One KVL at input side and another KVL at the output side. Okay. So first of all, this thing is clear. B is your RB2 upon RB1 plus RB2 into BCC, and R is your RB1 parallel RB. Now we will apply the KVL in the input side. Means we are applying KVL here at this side. So equation will be B, or we can say BB minus IBRB minus BBE minus RIE R equals to 0. Again, listen. If you are confused with the sign, so remember we are entering into minus and we are going to minus to plus. If we are going from minus to plus, means something is increasing. So we will take sign plus. Nothing is means plus sign is there. Now in resistance there is no direction, but current is flowing in this direction. So we will consider plus to minus. Now we are moving from plus to minus, means something decreasing. So sign will be minus. Now BBE, we are going from plus to minus. Then again we are going towards minus, means again sign will be minus. And again in the case of this direction of current is from this to this, sign is plus to minus. So again we are moving towards minus. So again sign minus IE R equals to 0. Okay. Now in this equation IE, if you remember the current equation in transistor, this IE is a combination of IB plus IC. Okay. And the value of IC is beta IB. Beta is your common emitter current gain. Now take common IB here. It will be 1 plus beta IB. This is your IE. Now put this value of IE again in this equation. BB minus IB RB minus BBE minus 1 plus beta IB RE. Now take IB all terms in left side and all the voltage terms on right side. So here we will calculate the value of IB. Now pause the video for a second. Why we need IB? We want to calculate the Q point. The answer is because we want to calculate the value of IC, and IC equals to beta into IB. So if you are having IB, then you can calculate the IC. So the value of Q point you want to calculate IC comma BC. So IC, it's here. Now for BC, if you remember, now for BC we'll apply KVL in the right side. For IC we apply KVL in the left hand side. For BC we apply KVL in the right side. In the right side, what will the equation? Equation will be BCC minus ICRC minus BCE minus IER. Again listen, BCC minus ICRC, because current through this is IC, ICRC minus BCE minus IERE equals to 0. And the term BC here will be this. This equation is incomplete. BCC minus IERE and minus ICRC also there. So this will be your equation of BC. Okay. So this is the Q point. Okay. So biasing, the role of biasing is for calculating the Q point. But the next point is, the main important point is Q points you will find out anyways. But the role of biasing is to stabilize the Q point. So how you understand how much stable your voltage divider bias is? That is the main point. Okay. So in a stability factor, if you remember in the previous lecture, we have derived the formula of stability factor. Means stability factor is change in current IC due to change in leakage current. And after derivation, we get this expression. So ultimately, we want DIB over DIC. So this equation we have already taken KVL in the starting left side KVL. In this equation, B minus IB RB minus BBE minus ICRE, because actually this was IERE, and I equals to IC plus IB. So it is ICRE and IBRE. Okay, now take IB terms common. and the others will be as it is. Now you want to take differentiation of this equation with respect to IC. Now this is constant term, differentiation is 0. The IB is dependent on IC, that's why del IB over IC, and the RB plus RE is as it is. Again BB is constant term 0. And IC differentiation with respect to IC will be 1, RE equals to 0. So after solving this, IB over IC equals to minus RE upon minus RB plus RE. Now just you have to put this value in this equation. When you will put the value in this equation, S will be 1 plus beta upon 1 plus beta RE upon RE plus RE. Okay. Now you can take common this RE upon RE plus RB term common, then it will be 1 plus beta into 1 plus RB upon RE upon 1 plus beta plus RB upon RE. Okay. Now what is the advantage? What is the advantage of this equation? So first of all, understand this concept. The value of RB is very less than RE. Pause the video for a second and just think why it is. Why it is? Why this RB is less than RE? Very less than RE. Why? Why it happened? Because this RB is parallel combination of RB1, RB2. RB is parallel combination of RB1 parallel RB2, and definitely parallel combination value will be smallest. Okay, parallel combination value will be smaller. So RB is less than RE. If RB is less than RE, then RB upon RE will be less than 1. RB upon RE will be less than 1. Okay, now see, so this value is less than 1, it is ignored. Finish. Now next is the value of beta is in terms of 100, so definitely this value is also ignored. So now what remains? In numerator it is 1 plus beta. In denominator also 1 plus beta. Then 1 plus beta cancelled by 1 plus beta. So what is the value of S is 1. Wow, that's very good. What do you mean by S equals to 1? What is the significance of S equals to 1? S equals to 1 means now stability is independent. It is not depending on the beta. Beta is your device parameter. It is not dependent on the temperature. It is the best thing. Stability is much better than the previous biasing method. Understood? Again listen, the value of RB is always less than RE because RB is a parallel combination of RB1 parallel RB2. Hence, this term will be ignorable. Now, in numerator only 1. And the beta, 1 plus beta is very higher than this term. So, this term is also ignorable. After this, 1 plus beta cancel out. The stability factor is 1. So, that is the advantage of voltage divider bias. Means we are getting a smallest value of S. That is means that leads to maximum possible thermal stability. Means a thermal stability issue was there in the fixed bias. There was no thermal stability, but in this case, it will have maximum possible thermal stability. And the second thing, now Q point is stable due against variation in temperature or device parameter. Means whenever temperature increases, decreases, beta increases, decreases, but stability will be fixed. That is your advantages. So whenever we will use any biasing, so we have to use voltage divider biasing only. This is the best biasing among all the biasing techniques of the BJT. A disadvantage is a little bit disadvantage. First disadvantage is the loading problem. What do you mean by loading problem? Loading problem is whatever the maximum current by input by source, that is taken by the resistance RB. If resistance will take all the current, then minimum current will flow here. Because in the fixed bias there was nothing here. So whatever the current we are applying, that current is taken by this resistance. If resistance will take the much current, then the very little current will flows in the transistor. And this current affects your loading effect. So, but that loading effect can be removed if you used buffer amplifier between source and the load. Okay. So, thank you so much. If you like it, like and share it. God bless you.